This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning, I'm J.R. Ryder. Welcome to the November edition of Religion in the News. Joining me today is Carol Sissom, Jeffrey Payne, Merlin Gonzalez, Faith James, and Lori Cobian. We have a great show for you today as our guests talk about a program to help former prisoners transition into the community, a mentoring program for teen girls, a survivor hero turns politician, the vibrant theology department at Cardinal Ritter High School, hot dogs and faith, and the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis summarizes the centennial celebrations of 2012. Stay tuned. Good morning and welcome back to Religion in the News. I'm J.R. Ryder again. My guests today are here to talk about educating the whole student. They're from Cardinal Ritter High School. Let's welcome Anthony Basso and Jenny Langrick. Welcome to Religion in the News.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now, Anthony, you are the theology department chairman.
That's correct.
And you are the campus minister.
Correct.
I want to talk a little bit about kind of the vision of where you're taking this particular program in your department. And I know you have some interesting things going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Well, every Catholic school is going to have a religious education program or a theology program. Cardinal Ritter High School is one that we really try to make it a very academically rigorous part of that program. And we believe that all of our students, all people in general, are hungering for truth. And our answer to that truth is that it's not so much the philosophical abstract idea, but rather a person, and that person is Jesus Christ. And so we have a curriculum that's centered around Christ, and it's something that the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops has promulgated, something that they published a couple of years back and asked for all of the schools nationwide to adopt. And it's something that we embraced with great zeal and something that we've transitioned to pretty early on. And it's really, I think, paid some dividends in terms of not only raising the students' awareness of who Jesus Christ is and their relationship with him, but also just their academic rigor, their academic performance as well.
And reaching them at such a young age is always a plus, isn't it? Now, Jenny, you are the campus minister. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there at Ritter, Cardinal Ritter.
We're really lucky at Ritter because we have a full-time campus minister, which most Catholic high schools do not. We really believe in focusing on educating the entire student, and we see campus ministry as an integral part of that. We have retreats for every student. Our seniors go on a 4-day retreat once a year called a Christian Awakening Retreat. All of our other students go on 1-day retreats throughout the year, days of reflection. Our staff actually go on 2 days of retreat. Then we also have Mass monthly and on holy days of obligation, and on special events like next week on Veterans Day. We celebrate Lent, Advent, Way of the Cross, any kind of spiritual development. We have penance services. Anything that has to do with the spiritual development of the student is basically my responsibility as the campus minister to focus on.
And I think we have a picture too that we'll put up, and we'll go ahead and put up the contact information also for students that want to get more information. But very, very encouraging ministry that you're doing over there at the high school level. I want to thank you this morning for taking your time and coming out and being our guest here on Religion in the News.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carol, now to you.
Thank you, JR. Good morning, I'm Carol Sissom. My guest today is Rupert Bonham. He is a Libertarian candidate for governor. Welcome to Religion in the News, Rupert.
Oh, thank you.
Now, wow, just a couple of days.
Oh, I know, 2 days left of the campaign. I cannot wait.
And you are excited, but the worst is over?
Yes, you know, well, campaigning for the last year and a half, I remember when there were 200 days, not just 2 days.
Awesome. Rupert, you're on our show because you are a man of faith. You are a man of destiny, and you have an amazing miracle story. So can you just share us a little bit about your faith?
You know, in my mentoring program that I've ran for 21 years, I teach a lot of young men and some women how to bring that faith back to themselves when they've became a little lost. And I talk about this story when years ago, I was a grip and a utility for different TV shows, different stuff as they'd come through town for the Indy 500 or some of the Colts game or the Pacer games. And the networks were starting to share my name. I worked for ABC Wide World of Sports and ESPN and NBC, but I had never worked for CBS behind the camera. The one time that I actually said yes to a job working for CBS, I was in a little fender bender on the way, and I was 3 hours late for my call time. When I got there, they looked at me and said, you might as well go on home. But now, you know, if I would have worked behind the camera for CBS, I would have never been able to work in front of the camera. I would have never been able to show my mentoring program, show who I am, show what we've been doing for, gosh, 20 years. It's been wonderful. I like showing that, you know, there is that path laid out for us. And as long as you keep your eyes open, you can see it.
Now, you are a man who's come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of hard things that you've overcome.
Right.
What would you say has been the hardest thing that you've had to overcome, and not political, but just things that have given you strength?
You know, watching not only in my life some of the struggles, but watching in some of my young men, my participants' lives, some of the struggles, some of the roadblocks that are put up in front of you from sometimes the closest people to you, you know, your own family, and being able to show how the strongest muscle we have in our body is right here inside our brain. It's our brains. Being able to give that strength not only to myself, but share that with others and show it counts how you play the game.
Now Rupert, you've said that there have been many of the children, the kids
Right.
that you help, who probably would be dead without you.
You know, when you don't have that sense of self-worth or work ethic, when you can't make that legal living, when you're going through desperate times, it will make some of us do very desperate things. You know, and I hate seeing that sometimes our youngest citizens will put their life on the line just to try and earn that illegal dollar.
Now, you say that you're a man who's very blessed.
Yes, oh
but
yes.
money is not that important to you, because when you have money, you give it right back.
Oh, yes. You know, when we won $1 million from winning that little reality show, we went back to work. We spent $1 million by sharing it with 5 other charities, the government and my family, and went back to work.
Well, we thank you
for
your blessings and for sharing, and we look forward to having you back.
Oh, thanks.
Back to you, Faith.
Hi, thanks, Carol. Good morning. I'm Faith James. Coming up next, my guests talk about a re-entry program. You don't want to miss it next when we return on Religion in the News. To Religion in the News, my guests today are El Da Vinci Richardson and Julie Smithson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So basically, I brought you on today to talk about starting over with prisoners. Now, before a person can start over in your program, you have to actually have been in prison. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but you're telling me that you were in prison.
Yes. I just completed 3 years at the Indiana Women's Prison. I've actually only been released 90 days. And I heard about starting over program through a mentor in the prison who knew I was going to need a job when I got out. So she let me know that this would be something that would be good for me, a good fit.
Okay, now, Da Vinci, tell our viewers at home a little bit about starting over.
Starting Over is an AmeriCorps program, which there are 15 members. We work as reentry coordinators to help individuals that are being released from prison make a successful transition from that prison life back into the community. And we do so with the help of the service providers that we help them get in touch with the service providers that can connect them with programs such as, you know, job training, housing, things of that nature.
Okay, now actually, who funds it again?
This here is an AmeriCorps program.
The AmeriCorps program. And how long have you two been a part of the program yourselves?
Just 60 days. It's been up and running for 60 days.
Okay,
Yes.
not that long.
No.
Okay, so if I just got out of jail, how do I get in contact with you? Where do I go? Who do I call?
Right now, we're housed in a facility, HRH. This here is Homeless and Reentry Helpers. We're at 918 East Michigan Street. The phone number there is 317-636-2468. We have staff there, you know, like all day long those people that are needing help, getting information, being connected with resources. We have reentry coordinators on hand to help them do that.
Okay, just real quick, tell our viewers about the statistics and how your program is actually helping the community.
Yes, if this program is able to keep 46 people from reoffending, it will save the taxpayers $1.5 million. So that's not really an extravagant goal. I think that's achievable. There's 15 of us, so if we can each reach 3 people, we can save the city and the state that amount of money.
Okay, well, I know our time is limited, and if our guests want to hear more about you, then they'll give you a call. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having
Back to you, Merlin.
Thank you, Faith. Good morning. My name is Merlin Gonzalez. My guest today is a familiar face in Religion in the News, Kiera Torrentine. He's here to talk about teen mentoring. And welcome to Religion in the News.
Thank you for having me back on the show.
Yes, yeah, we're excited to have you here. So tell us about this program that you are putting together.
Well, I work with a program for young ladies between the ages of 13 to 19, and it's a mentoring program. It's called Virtue. And we have our meetings on a weekly basis, and it's a really great opportunity for young ladies to get involved, to get in the community. It's an opportunity for them to come and vent and just get exposure, get everything that they have going on in their lives, get a little chance to express themselves.
And what ages again?
Ages 13 to 19.
13 to 19. So how did you get started in doing this?
Well, I'd always known I had a calling to help young ladies to grow into their fullest potential. And I learned this back when I was in high school, and so it just came into fruition as of last year, 2011, where my pastor asked me to kind of spearhead a mentoring program. And so we got it all organized and everything, and it just, I know it's my opportunity to give back, because I was that young lady that was broke, and I was that young lady that felt like I didn't have a voice, and I always felt like I needed somebody to talk to. And so mentoring is a great opportunity to help give direction to young ladies.
So what kind of activities do you introduce to the young ladies?
Well, we have, like in our weekly meetings, we might do some role playing. We talk about sexual purity. We might talk about confidence, self-esteem, relationships. We deal with a number of topics. And then not only that, we have a monthly outing. We do community service as well. And then we also try to engage with the parents through a monthly wrap-up session, whereas they will come and they'll be able to sit in and dine with us and just give a little feedback as to how we can help their young ladies and young men, because we have a Man Up program for the young fellas as well.
Yeah. We only have about 30 seconds here. How much is the cost?
Well, it is totally free. However, some of our monthly outings cost from time to time, but sometimes it is funded. So.
All right, and contact information to get hold of you?
That is virtueladies@gmail.com if you are interested, and we're having our open enrollment tomorrow, Monday, November 5th.
Back to you, Lori.
Thanks, Merlin. Good morning, I'm Lori Cobian. When we return, my guest talks about how he uses his faith to operate his locally owned hot dog company. Stay tuned.